Hello, Market Rebels, and welcome to this very special report that we're putting out here on Wednesday, March 15th. The reason I'm putting this out is because while I was looking at the VIX and doing the midweek report, I started talking about the volatility index, with that being a gauge of fear. It's called the fear index. Some of you know about that. And I thought it would be a good idea to just send this message to let you know that focusing on the charts will help you not just with managing risk, although that's the most important thing we can do. It helps you with determining direction, finding support levels, resistance, as we do with trading and using that trading checklist. But if you focus on the charts and you're able to remove that emotional content that you pick up from some of these financial programs, it's going to help you make better decisions, I believe. That's number one. Number two, understand that this is not my first rodeo when it comes to markets in this state of panic. I was talking to a few of our coaching clients today and telling them that back in the Bear Stearns crash before the sell off in 2008, we had a little bit of a rally. We were told that, oh, Bear Stearns is great. Remember, Jim Cramer was out there pounding on the table, buy Bear Stearns. And of course, we know where that went. But we had a little bit of a rally, and then phase two of the other reality, the real problems that were happening in the market surfaced again. And I do believe that we will see that same exact story play out. Can't guarantee it, of course. I can't guarantee any of your trades, but again, this is my time to spend with you to at least have that quick conversation to calm you down. Let me share some of the things with you that I do. Number one, and I've said this many times, I do not watch television. I do not watch it because the networks want to draw you in with that fear, very much like during hurricane season. The meteorologists bring you in on the storm, and they're standing at the beach and knee deep water with their microphones, and then all of a sudden you see the guy walking his dog behind them. Right, that hype is really what they're counting on to get you to tune back in. That's happening now. Money moves the world around, right? So if they get more viewers, they're going to get more money for sponsorship. And so I'm telling you to turn that off, at least temporarily, right? I know some of you have set up trading rooms where you have a screen here, a screen there, monitors, and CNBC and Fox Business and BNN up in Canada, and you got it all going. But that does not help you make a better decision, because the real news that's hitting the market right now isn't going to be covered on those networks for minutes and sometimes hours later. So the charts are giving you the dynamic result of that news as it's breaking, and that's what's going to help you make that better decision. All right, so let me just take a look at one chart because I want to show you again what this VIX looks like. Yesterday we had a bearish engulfing, and today we almost had a bullish engulfing. During the course of the day, especially in the morning, this was a massive green candle here, massive. But what happened is it gave up some of those gains, and we have this long shadow. So again, as I mentioned in the midweek report, I think the VIX is going to drop somewhere in the area between this zip line here that I'm using as a trend line and the moving average. So right in this area where I'm circling right here, I'll mark that for you right there, right? And then after that happens, I think we're going to start getting round two of the sell-off, which means the VIX will most likely start to take off again. So if you are focused on the VIX and managing risk accordingly, so in other words, if you see the VIX starting to take off, you don't need me to sit by your side and tell you when to buy or sell. That's something that you as a market rebel need to learn how to do. And like I say all the time, when in doubt, close it out. If you can't get answers, you can't get in touch with anybody to help you, one of the coaches, whatever, close it out. Remember this, you could always reopen the position when you are certain of the signal. You could always reopen that. So if you have to take a loss, take the loss. Mark that loss on your trade journal, trade blotter, whatever you want to call it. Mark that loss. Do not forget about that. Carry it over, right? It's a journaling aspect here, that we're journaling that loss over. And then when you reset to get back into a trade, you then start to mark the profits moving forward against that loss, instead of making the biggest mistake that some people make. If they get in a trade and they're hardline, they buy a stock at 24 and they say, well, I'm going to sell it at 26 and I'm going to hold on till it's 26. What happens if it goes to 25.99 and all the signals are going low? You still going to hold on for that extra penny? Well, it sounds like a silly question, but guess what? Many people do that. They hold on for the extra penny even though the signals are moving against them. In this type of an environment, any profit is a good profit. Don't fear you missing out on the bigger profit. That's greed. That gets you in trouble. So if you got a profit, like some of the trades I put out today, some of the option essential folks bought a really cheap option. I told them, if it goes up, if it comes back rather, fills the gap, you get out. Doesn't matter if you're trying to double your money on that trade or not. Go with the signal and stick to it, right? Lastly, let me just tell you, Market Rebellion is here for you. We are building a community of rebels. This doesn't mean that we're just going against the grain. That's not what I mean. At least I understand rebel to be. We're just the folks that are not going along with the sheep. Think of it that way. We are standing apart. We are making our own decisions. We are managing our own risk, and we're not relying on someone else to tell us when to get out or even when to get in. We give you the information. We give you the trade candidates. We teach you how to read the charts. We teach you how to do the dance with options, whatever it may be. Ultimately, it all comes down to your level of comfort. If you are comfortable with the trade, great for you. If you're not comfortable with the trade, it's not going to work as well, because now you're starting the trade with scared money. And as I've always said, scared money doesn't make any money. Be confident. If you have to pull out cash, paper trade like some of our members have done for very long periods of time until you get back into that rhythm, build your confidence. As I've said before, again, cash is a position. Protect it. Protect your buying power. So hopefully you found some value in this video. I'm in the trenches with you. I'm in this market. I feel it. I know what this is like for some of you. Some of you are making fortunes. Some of you are not. And I know some of you who are making the fortunes on a day like today have reached out to me, and that's great. Congratulations. But for those of you that aren't in that same camp and you're feeling a little apprehensive or maybe stressed out, understand Market Rebellion is building a community for you. And we're trying to give you the best suggestions and the best ideas for you to follow so that you're not losing sleep at night. And that's what it comes down to. Remember, I've said this before. I've written about it in my books. 1987 was a very tough year for me. I lost everything, literally everything. And I will never forget that feeling. You can't just shake it out of you. It will always be embedded in my mind. I feel it. So when someone else is telling me that they're feeling that pain, I can empathize with you. I can absolutely feel it. And I don't want you to go through that. I'd rather you learn from my mistakes and then, again, go back to trading small and get back into that rhythm. Get back into the beat of the market, right? The cycle, if you will. So again, I hope you found this video valuable. Stay tuned. We're there with you. And stay tuned to your member page for the next alert. And I'll talk to you then. So long.